I'm Missy Stevens with Monsieur Touton Selection, and I am here to pour you several wines from all over the world. And as an importer distributor, we like to bring you different types of values from all corners of the world. We are going to start off in France in the Rhone Valley with a wine called Les Dauphins. It's a Cotes du Rhone Blanc, and it's actually made by a producer called Cellier des Dauphins that makes value-priced wines. They source all of their grapes from over 20 different appellations within the Cotes du Rhone AOC, including Cru, Cotes du Rhone, and Cotes du Rhone villages. So this is the Cellier des Dauphins, and this is a Cotes du Rhone Blanc. It is a 2018 vintage, and this is actually made with mostly Grenache Blanc. A lot of the times people focus on Cotes du Rhone Blancs that are made with majority Viognier. While this does have a hefty portion of Viognier, it has 30% Viognier. It is almost completely 60% Grenache Blanc, which makes it a little more melony. It has a nice fruit forward profile. But it also has hints of citrus, and I would say even kind of like a little bit of white peach. But this is a great wine to just enjoy by itself. You could even have it with grilled fish or any other type of food of your choosing. It's very much a table wine or a summer sipper, so it can be very versatile. It's soft on the palate, nice acidity at the end. That's really good. So the next wine we're going to be moving on to is the Blanquito Albarino. So we're moving over to Spain, to the northwestern portion of Spain in Galicia, where Rías Baixas, which is the home of Albarino, is. So this is a very green, lush region of Spain. Rías Baixas is well known for Albarino. Many people consider the grape native to the region. They make fantastic white wines for the summertime. They have beautiful brisk acidity, nice fruit, that really layered profile. This particular wine is not 100% Albarino. It is mostly Albarino, but then it's also blended with Trezadura, Cayano, Loureiro, and Godello, which are all traditional grapes to use in Rías Baixas blends. This particular item is called Blanquito. It's very tropical, but as I said, it has very brisk acidity. This is a fantastic wine to pair with fish. I think it is just perfect, right up its alley. Again, like the first white wine that we tried, you can still have this by itself, but they're perfect for hot weather. The acidity just is very refreshing, and it makes you feel nice and good. Very tropical. You really get that acid on the very back and on the finish, and it just keeps it from finishing too fruity, and it just makes it this beautiful, wonderful experience from the beginning to the end. I'm gonna finish that. So one other thing about Rías Baixas that I think should be noted, this particular item is from Rías Baixas all over, but there are 5 subregions of Rías Baixas. So you can actually find some Albarinos that have a subregion beyond just being from Rías Baixas. This particular one, again, though, is just from the overall region. For the price, it's very well made and a great value. So the next one that we're moving on to is also from France. So we went from France to Spain, now back to France, and we're moving on to a French rosé. It is almost summer, so the summertime and springtime are really known for dry French rosés. This particular wine, which is called Les Luzelles, is from a region called Pays du Gard, which is down in the south of France, in the Languedoc-Roussillon area. This is actually made by a Tavel producer. So it actually has a nice full body, even though it is very light pink and salmon in color. This has been one of my top picks for French rosé for the past 2 years. It is absolutely delightful. So this is a blend. It is mostly Grenache, but then it also has a blend of Carignan and Syrah, which is essentially what makes it, or gives it, that very full feeling. Even though, again, it is a very, very light color. Don't be deceived by that. Very, very full on the front. Lots of sort of minerality. But nice fruit. You could almost say it has a sort of raspberry characteristic. Not too fruity, but that sort of softness that you get with raspberries, but still fruit bursting. And then the very last wine that we are doing is from the United States. So this is the one domestic wine that we are doing. Now this is from California. This is called Margaret's Vineyard Zinfandel. And this is actually made by McNabb Ridge Winery, which is owned by a man named Richard Parducci, who is the grandson of John Parducci, who has really made a name for the Parducci family in California. This particular wine is named for Richard Parducci's grandmother, whose name was Margaret. Apparently, she was the backbone of the family. She really supported John throughout his efforts to make wine over the course of decades. She was a sheep rancher for 4 decades, and she had a very close connection with the outdoors and gardening. And Richard decided to make a whole selection of value-priced wines named for her. So this is the Zinfandel. It has lots of berries and tons of pepper, but it's not so spicy that you feel like you can't drink more than 1 glass of it. One of the mottos of the Parducci family, and especially Richard, is they want to make wine so good that you ask for a second glass. So it's a beautiful red ruby color. It is very bright looking. You get the fruit on the nose right away. It's very soft up front. You get that nice sort of peppery feel right in the mid-palate. This, like the other ones, is fantastic for the summer, for grilling. Again, like all the others, you can have it just by itself as a porch sipper. But if you are ready to grill out, as many people are nowadays, to at least hang out with friends in some sort of manner, this is a perfect wine for that occasion. And that is everything that we've tried today. So again, we have 4 different wines from all corners of the world. We have the Cellier de Dauphin, Les Dauphins Cotes du Rhone Blanc. We have the Blanquito Albarino from Rías Baixas in the northwest portion of Spain. We have the Les Luzelles Rosé from Pays du Gard, which is in the south of France in the Languedoc-Roussillon. And then last but not least, we have our Margaret's Vineyard Zinfandel from California.